Want to learn how to make your own Barbie inspired favor box using your Cricut? Then keep on watching. Hey y'all, Victoria Sheree here with Pretty Party and Crafty, and we're going to jump right into how you can create your own Barbie inspired favor box using Cricut Design Space. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that you have a new canvas open in Design Space, and you're going to look on the left hand side and you're going to click upload because we want to upload our file. Right here at the top, you're going to click upload image. And there's two ways you can bring your file in. You can click the green browse button to search for it, or if you already have the folder open, you can just click and drag it over. Now, there are two files in this folder that you would get from us. You would either get the Cricut file or the dash score lines. If you use a silhouette, you'll use the one that says dash score lines. If you have a Cricut, we're going to click on Cricut. So we're going to click, hold, and drag it over. Okay. Once the background turns a mint green, you're going to release. At this point where it says image name, if you'd like, you can rename it and add keywords or tags. Once you do that, you can click the green upload button at the bottom right corner. Now that we have it uploaded, we're going to select it by clicking on it. And bottom right corner, you're going to click add to canvas. All right, so this is what it looks like when you bring it in, but we want to make sure that we change some things so that it prints and cuts properly. So the first thing I'm going to do is ungroup it. So I'm going to right click and select ungroup. And we're going to go over each of these items so you know what they are. So looking at the bottom row, the first rectangle, just going to bring it up to the top. This rectangle right here, this is the acetate sheet. This is going to be the plastic sheet that covers that window. So what I'm going to do is with it selected, I'm going to go to the layers panel and I'm just going to rename it acetate so I know what it is. And I'm also going to be putting cut so I remember that this is just a regular cut. Now, because this is not going to be printed and it's going to be cut on a separate sheet, I'm going to just hide it for now. So at the layers panel with it selected, just click the eye icon to hide this. Okay, next we're going to pull the next white rectangle and we're going to rotate this so that it's vertical. So holding down your shift key with it selected, you're going to wait until your cursor turns into a rotating cursor. And you're just going to rotate it to 270 degrees. All right, so now that it's vertical. Okay, this right here is going to be the backer. It's basically the divider between your image and your candy or your treat or whatever you're going to put inside of this box. So what I want to do is make sure that I rename it. This helps you. So once you get everything set up and you save it, then you don't have to worry about it when you use it again in the future. So with it selected, I'm just going to double click so I can rename it. And I'm going to put backer. And I'm also going to put print because this is going to be a print and cut design. All right, next, there are 4 lines within the rectangle. So 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 lines within the rectangle, those are going to be score marks. So looking at our backer print, right below it, we see those 4 lines. We're going to click on it. And at the top left where it says operation, we're going to change that from basic cut to score. Okay, so now it turns into score lines because those are not going to be cut. They're going to be scored so you can fold. Okay, next we're going to select the white rectangle and change that from a basic cut to a print and cut. So under operation, we're going to select print then cut. Okay, next to print and cut, we're going to click on the white square where it has our color, and we can change that. So if you want to change it to a solid color, you can choose from the options that they have, or next to advanced, You can hit the plus sign and choose a particular color, whatever you choose. If you don't want a solid color, but you want a pattern instead, under print type, you're going to click the drop down arrow and select pattern. Okay, so you could scroll through this and choose your pattern, or you could select filter. And I want a pattern that's going to have pink in it, so I'm just going to click on pink. And then I'm going to choose my background. Maybe these polka dots. Okay, so I'm going to use the polka dots, but now that I'm looking at it, they are kind of small, so I can edit my pattern by going to edit pattern here. I'm going to click it, and this is going to give you a preview, and you can scale it. That just makes it smaller or larger. You could move it horizontally or vertically. You could also rotate it, flip it. So I'm just going to take that to about a 160 maybe. No. Maybe a 260. See how that looks. Okay, so I like that, and I'm just going to hit the X button, and it updated for me. Okay, so great. So now we have our backer, and we are done with this. So with this selected, we have the backer, everything selected. I'm going to right click and hit attach. Okay, so this is going to all be done together. So I'm done with my backer. Now I'm going to work on my box. So if we come over here, there are 3 parts to this. Okay, we have the box, we have our score marks, and we have these little notches that need to be cut. So what we're going to do, I'm going to select the second one with all the lines, and I'm going to make sure that I change this to score. So operation, I'm going to change that from basic to score. And then I want to make sure that I label that score as well. So I'm going to put box score. Okay, next is right above it, those notches. They do need to be cut, so I'm going to leave that as is. But I do want to make sure that I attach these 2 together so that they move together. So I'm going to select both of them. Let me actually rename this first. I'm going to put cut. I'm just going to put tab notches. Okay, and I'm going to select both of those. I'm going to right click and I'm going to select attach. Okay, so I'm just going to move this off to the side for a moment. And when we're ready to cut, we'll make sure that we just line everything back up. But I just want to move it off to the side for a moment so we can focus on the design itself. So now we're working with this right here. So this is our Barbie box. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to go ahead and change that from a cut to a print then cut. Okay, so it's already named doll box. I'm just going to double click it and I'm going to put print on there. So we remember that's going to be a print and cut. You don't have to rename it if you don't want to. It's just helpful for me. Okay, so with this selected, I'm going to change this from a basic cut to a print then cut. And then I am going to change the color. So next to print then cut, select the color icon. And I want it to be a pink, so I don't see the pink that I'm looking for. So I'm going to click the plus next to advanced. I'm going to go through the color scroller and get to a pink that I like. All right, that looks good to me. So I'm going to work with that pink. All right, next I am going to start designing. So just for a moment, I'm going to put this back over on top just for a moment so I can see exactly where everything is going to go. Okay, you're getting a new voice because it's a new day for a voiceover. All right, so I'm adding text. So I'm using a Barbie font, and I'm going to change that text color to white and add an offset that's the same color as the box. Then we'll just resize it and rotate it to cover the window. And that's it for the front. I'm going to add some additional text using the same process. Again, to get that stroke, all you have to do is add an offset and change the color. Okay, so for the sides, I just said happy birthday, Barbara, and I duplicated it. Then I wanted to add some additional text to the front. So you could also add like maybe that Mattel logo at the top left corner. It's completely up to you. At this point, you can start going to images and uploads to bring in additional pictures. I have my own SVG, so I made sure to bring that in along with the birthday girl. When you do the birthday girl, if she's going on the front as well as inside the box, make sure you duplicate her. And because my girl, her legs aren't complete, I made sure to cover the bottom of that. And yeah, it looks good so far. Let's keep on going. Next, I'm going to move the score lines for a moment. And if you want to have a 3D pop-up name, make sure you select the name and the offset, group it together, and then you want to duplicate it. That's only if you want it to have a 3D pop-up effect. After you do that, you're going to select the box and all the graphics inside, and you're going to flatten it by right-clicking and select flatten. Once you flatten the box design, you can also select and flatten the name. All right, now we're going to zoom out and we're going to bring the score lines back on top of the box. So just make sure that you move the score lines to the front or at the top of the layers and make sure that it's arranged evenly and everything lines up properly. And then you're going to take your girl, make sure you move her to the front as well. And you're going to resize it so that it fits within that window. So at this point, I want to take this and attach it. So I'm going to select everything here. I'm going to right click and I'm going to attach. Okay, I'm going to zoom out so we can see what's going on. Now I'm just going to arrange it how I want my print sheet to look. So I'm going to take the backer card and move that below the box. And then the name Barbara, I can duplicate that and put that below as well. Select everything and then I'm going to attach. Then click Make It. You're going to select Continue. Send to printer, choose your printer. I'm using the 8550 from Epson. Add bleed is toggled on, use system dialog box is toggled on, hit print. You're going to select your printer and then click preferences. This is where you're going to change your printer settings. So my paper source, it's going to be in the rear paper feeder. My paper size is 11 by 17. My orientation is portrait. My paper type, I'm changing that to photo paper glossy because I'm printing on glossy paper. For my quality, I'm going to set that to standard or high. It's up to you. Now, the next step is optional. You don't have to do it. It's optional. But go to More Options. Under Color Correction, select Custom, then hit Advanced. Change Color Management to Color Controls. For color mode, I changed that to Adobe RGB, and my gamma, I set that to 1.8. Now, if you want to mess with colors more, you can. I don't, but this is how I make my colors bright. I hit OK, I hit OK again, and then I select Print. Next, I set my base material to heavy cardstock, 100 pounds. My pressure, I changed that to more just because I thought I needed to. If you don't have a double scoring wheel, just hit Edit Tools and select the tool you have. I have a single scoring wheel that I'm using, or you can use the stylus. Right now, I'm just loading the scoring wheel. Then I'm going to load the mat and send it to scoring. All right, so right now it just finished scoring. So what I'm going to do now is load my fine point blade, and then I'm going to hit go. Okay, I removed the scoring wheel, adding my fine point blade, and now it's going to start cutting the box. All right, so at this point you're done with this. So you're going to hit the bottom right corner done button. And now once you finish with your print then cut, now you're going to go back to your layers. I'm going to collapse that, and where it says acetate cut, we're going to click that eye icon so that we can see it now. And where it says attach, we're going to basically just hide this. And now you're going to cut your acetate sheet. So you can duplicate this as many times as you need to, depending on how many you're going to make. So I'm just going to put 3, and I'm going to click Make It. We want to do on matte. It is 12 by 12, and we're going to hit confirm. Okay, once you do that, you're going to hit continue. I'm going to speed through this. Basically, your material is going to be set at acetate. Your pressure will be heavy and just a simple cut. All right, so I have all my pieces cut, and the first thing you want to do is take the favorite box and start folding. You're going to fold at all the score lines. So fold, fold, fold until you cannot fold anymore. And then we're going to move on to the backer piece. All right, so with the backer piece, remember there are going to be 4 score lines on this. The innermost score lines, you're going to fold it down into the printed side. And then the outermost score lines, you're going to fold it out. So it's going to be like a Z fold. You'll see it in just a moment. Let me get it back in screen. So that's how it's going to be. Now my backer piece, it's longer than what yours will be, but when you add it on, just make sure you align it to the top. You're not going to align it the full length of it. So I'm just going to add the picture of my girl or your character. I'm going to add it to the backer, and I am using double-sided foam squares, and just add it to the back to make sure that she's going to show through the window. Okay, I'm just making sure it fits. Now with your double-sided tape or adhesive, you're just going to add adhesive around the window because we're going to add the acetate sheet. So we're just going to put that down, and now we're going to add adhesive down the sides. Now you don't have to go all the way down, it's up to you, but make sure it's aligned, the backer is aligned to the top score. And now, just pressing down, making sure it's sealed, we're going to add adhesive to that left tab, and we're going to adhere the box together, and that's it. So this is what our Barbie inspired favorite box looks like, but there's a couple more things you can do and what I want to show you. So first, this is the inside. It can fit full-size candy, Skittles, M&Ms, Hershey's, even sunglasses, totally up to you. Now, if you want to be extra, you can add the name as a 3D pop-up effect. So just get some double-sided foam dots and put it on there. But yeah, that's it. Hopefully you learned something new. If you did, be sure to subscribe, like, and follow for more questions. Leave them. Later, y'all.